Marco
Yo, what's up?
is in the chat. Hi.
Hi, how's it going? I have a question for you real quick.
Okay, I don't have all the answers, but I'll try.
You like game shows, so you might.
I like some game shows, yeah.
So, oh god, the theme song. I'm trying to think of what the name of this theme song is, and it's like do 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 do. Do you know that?
No, not off the top of my head, no.
Shit. I don't either, and it's driving me crazy. Like, I can picture, like, the set kind of, well, I mean, I guess, like, all game show sets, like, are similar, like, a lot of bright lights. It's not like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like, really modern looking. Like, I feel like it has, like, some yellows and blues and greens.
Actually.
Yeah, and then, like, I mean, I can hear, like, and your announcer is, your host today is, it's
Is it like The Price is Right or something?
It might be The Price is Right. I think it's in that category of game show.
Okay.
And I don't even know, like, how to Google that. Like, I couldn't just Google
Yeah, that's true. I guess you could, like, Shazam it or something, right? You just sing it to your phone.
Is Shazam still an app? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, there's a show called Beat Shazam, a game show.
Oh, doesn't Jamie Foxx, like, host that?
Yeah, but there's also another game show on the same channel called Name That Tune, which is basically the same thing, and it's hosted by Wayne Brady.
So I was actually, like, upstairs the other day, which makes it just sound like I'm like live in the basement. But I was actually upstairs one of these last few days, and it was like 2 p.m. and like there was a Pictionary. It was just called Pictionary, and it was like a game show. And I don't know who the host was. That was actually someone I didn't know. But like had like a bunch of famous people on it playing it. But it was like 2 p.m. and I don't know. Yeah, I mean game shows are. I actually do enjoy a game show.
Yeah, I was actually cracking up this week because on Jeopardy, over the past, like, well, what day is it today? It's Tuesday today, so it would have been last week. I don't know if he's on. I guess if he is, he'll be on in an hour. Anyway, there was that gambling man, like, a couple years ago, James Howitzer. He won, like, a gajillion dollars really fast.
The one guy who was, like, the Jeopardy star who, like...
There's been a few Jeopardy stars, right?
Well, like, he's like the most recent one.
Yes. Yeah,
he has
he's
his
like
own game show now. I saw that.
He is on a game show. So, is this all going to be in the podcast? Because I could riff.
No,
right now.
Go. Keep going.
Okay.
It's in our realm of things we talk about on this podcast.
It's a
game
TV
shows.
show. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, flashback, X amount of years ago, I have no idea. Our first of the few prodigal sons of Jeopardy, Ken Jennings, kicks the door in on fucking Jeopardy and just kind of like dominates the scene for months on end and used mnemonic techniques to win like millions of dollars over time. Years later, this other dude, Brad, I don't know. He shows up, does a cool thing, makes a lot of money. I don't really know too much about him. Just a smart dude.
Right. Yeah.
Flash forward to James Howitzer, who is like, he explained on the show that he like hung out with his aunt a lot, and they went to operas. So like that's how he got a lot of like the cultural stuff.
Yes, opera.
Was from
where I learned all my trivia facts.
She was a very cultured individual,
educated,
I suppose. Yes. So she got him in that realm. But then like as he grew up, he moved to Vegas and like became like an analyst for casinos or something, some kind of gambling genius.
Right, yeah.
And he just kind of like figured out the game, right? So it's like you go for the big questions first and you seek out the daily double.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I also kind of like wish his story was like he went to like Vegas and like was like slowly bankrupting all the casinos, and he gets like taken back to like he gets like taken to the back room to like break his knees, and now he's like has to work for the casino. Like,
I guess I'll go on Jeopardy now.
Yeah,
gotta make this money back. So he made like a lot of money really fast with this like astounding strategy that no one had really used before. This high risk, high reward strategy.
Yeah.
The big trick being is to your first daily double, basically, you make it a true daily double every time.
Okay.
So you're coming out of the first round with like 10 grand, no matter what. And So those three guys, Brad, Ken Jennings, and James Howitzer, are now on this show called The Chase,
Yes,
which is
yes. Okay, I saw this
yeah.
other day because it looked that show is kind of intimidating. Like the person who's
Mm-hmm.
playing the game is like on like normal level, and then like the person who is like the genius is like on
Lording.
a like sitting on top of a pyramid looking down at them. I
Mm-hmm.
did see
They're just
that.
lording constantly, and they talk a
Yeah,
bunch of shit. They
yeah,
just like rag on the people constantly. But that's a kind of cool game too. You know, you just like build up a bank of money, and then you try to make it away from the person that's chasing you. And if you get a
yeah,
question wrong, they catch up. And if you get a question right and they get a question right, you move at the same pace. Try to like collect your bank. Anyway, so they're on that show together now because of their Jeopardy fame that they've
yeah.
sort of like taken on. And now, as of this week, I'm just like cracking up watching this dude. I guess it was last week, who's doing the same exact strategy, except he's just like the perfect combination of James Howitzer and Ken Jennings. So he's super smart, and he's doing this like high risk, high reward
Yeah.
payoff. So he made like almost $250,000 in a week. His first week on the show last week,
Yeah.
and that's a big number. And Jeopardy's matching right now, like daily
Damn.
winnings.
Is LeVar Burton still hosting it right now?
LeVar Burton was the host last week. That was part of why I wanted to talk about this and why it was so funny. Because like the whole week I was just like, fucking LeVar!
LeVar
just
rules.
Stay forever! Like
he rules.
you are my go-to guy. Like I really hope that he gets the mantle.
Me
or
too.
whatever.
I don't even like watch Jeopardy that often, but LeVar Burton is just like a cool dude. Like,
yeah, he did a good job, I thought.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers also host it?
Aaron Rodgers hosted it. Anderson Cooper hosted it. That one lady from that news station did it.
They're really just pulling everyone.
Yeah,
we're gonna host it. Little did you guys all know, next week me and Shane are hosting Jeopardy.
Yeah, I actually just emailed them back. So
yeah.
See you next week at 7:00 Eastern Central Time.
It's the first ever duo Jeopardy host. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be a banger. But yeah. Anyway, go ahead with the real introduction to the podcast.
Hi, everyone. Actually, there is one other thing I want to talk about. On the game show, didn't someone just like get like the lowest score ever on Jeopardy? I almost put that news article in our like show notes. But I didn't.
I talk a good game, like I watch it all the time, but I don't.
I think someone like ended up with like
once last week.
minus $14,000 or something. Like
that's fucking crazy. Yeah. That's nuts. The one guy that was on there last week when I was watching was doing pretty bad, but not that bad. I don't think he made it into Final Jeopardy, and he had like negative 700 or something like that. It wasn't that bad.
Let me see. I have to find this now because it was some crazy number. I've never actually seen someone go this low.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But hi everyone. Wait. What were you gonna do before we started the show?
I'm drinking this Pepsi Cola. But not for sponsorship purposes, more for comedic purposes. This bottle is really funny. It's so tiny.
Okay.
It looks like someone just like cut out the center of like a 20-ounce Pepsi bottle,
okay,
and then glued the bottom to the top. This is just super small.
Nice. Is it like a specialty one? Does it have like some cool like promotion?
No.
On the side?
I think it's for like kids' lunch boxes or something. Probably it's like
nice
12 ounces, so it could have just been in a can, but it's in a bottle.
Okay, all right. I found this. Condolences to the new record holder for worst day ever on Jeopardy, Patrick Pierce. He had a minus $7,000. He ended on. Do you actually have to pay Jeopardy the money if you lose?
I don't think so.
Okay, that'd be kind of nuts.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of nuts.
I don't know.
You go on Jeopardy, you lose a lot, and you actually owe Jeopardy like $10,000.
That's how they can afford to pay the winnings all the time. They're just constantly getting paid by the losers.
They always bring in one person who loses a lot, and that's someone keeps the lights on. I should introduce the podcast now. Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Ruining Movies. Hi. This is the podcast that is live on Twitch TV at 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. I am one of your hosts, Zach, across the internet. across time and space is our other host, Shayne. I actually introduced both of us this time instead of forgetting to tell the listener and viewer who we actually are.
Not before 20 minutes of game show talk.
It's only been 13. If you are new to Ruining Movies, this is a podcast where we discuss the movie of the week. This week we are discussing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then with the help of you, wonderful audience, we have to remake that movie either as a prequel, sequel, or remake, and we also have to rewrite that movie in the genre of your choice. All these can be voted on in polls in our Discord, which you can find on my Twitch channel, and I think, Shayne, your Twitch channel. And yeah.
Yes.
That's the whole concept. That's the whole bit. But before we start discussing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, their bodacious adventure, let's talk about what we've been watching and the news, because there's been a lot of news. We didn't record last week, so stuff has been happening. So, chat, Shayne, what have you guys been watching?
Well, Netflix bestowed upon me in all of its glory season 10 of The Walking Dead.
Are you like completely caught up with the Walking Dead? I almost said The Watching Dead.
I am now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the new season starts this month.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna watch it when it airs, but next year when the new season airs or whatever, I'll watch it on Netflix or something. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 or 5 seasons. But for the first time ever, I am more caught up in the show than I am in the graphic novels. Which sucks because I've had the fucking 4th graphic novel on my bookshelf, or compendium, I should say.
Yeah.
For a while, I just haven't gotten around to reading it. And the show came on, and I was like, fuck it, and I just grinded it out, and it was a fucking long season.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, man, this show will never be what the graphic novel is.
Right. No, barely. There's rarely any shows or movies that do match the source material. I'll say that up front, everyone. Everyone who says book is better than movie, most of the time you're right.
Yeah, I would say 9 to 9.5 times out of 10. That is an accurate statement. Yeah. I think there's a few exceptions. There usually is to most things like that.
I'd say The Shining is one of them.
Sure. Yeah. But I don't know. It's I really liked the graphic novel. The show is okay, I guess.
And that's what I was gonna ask. How are the newer seasons? I think I've watched the last season. I truly actually watched all the way through. Was the one where they were at the barn, which was season 3.
That's second season, and honestly, it's probably the worst season in my opinion to watch all the way through, at least. So the first season was really fucking good.
Yeah. He just left the Discord, everyone. Is he still streaming? He got sniped. Let's see. Is his stream still up? Did I leave the Discord?
I don't know how that happened.
I know, you said, now let me tell you, and then you just disappeared, and then I saw you were still talking on your stream, so that was weird.
Hell? Did I go to the AFK room, or did I just...
You just were gone, you just poofed, disappeared. I think the last thing you said was, season 2 is the last, the worst season to watch all the way through, and then you just were gone. You just dropped the mic. I heard
you say, "Oh, really?" and I was just let me lay it out for you.
Yeah, and then you just left. Mic drop, gone.
So we'll roll it back.
Yeah.
Season 2 of The Walking Dead, in my opinion, worst season. There was huge staffing changes between season 1 and season 2. I don't know the specifics, if it was writers, directors, or what, but there was just giant staffing changes that occurred, and you could really tell. So season 1 was 6 episodes. Yeah. Season 2 was 20 something episodes, and they were all in this fucking barn. And
I remember that.
Or not the barn, but on the farm where there happened to be a barn.
Was where was the missing daughter? Ooh,
yes, that was the whole story, and they constantly like implant these super Hollywood stories, like Rick and his wife and his BFF Shayne.
The love triangle, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that consumed.
And Carl.
Coral. So the whole first season, that was like a thing that was floating in the air, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
No, I don't think so. I think season 1 was pretty good.
Season 1, I think, is a standout. It's like one of their best seasons. They even released a black and white edition that, from what I understand, was really cool. Yeah. So then season 2, that love triangle was just like a huge part of like 90% of the story, and it ended with him killing his buddy. That dude was dead in like the first 4 issues of the graphic novel. That shit was lightning quick. He was gone in no time. So that was just like a huge, elongated, nonsensical, Hollywood ass love triangle
just
thing.
pull. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that, I don't know, that season was just super drawn out and boring, and they could have just. The thing is, when you're trying to fill the gaps between.
Yeah, you have to have those filler episodes. Yeah.
You know, you're like looking at a graphic novel and you're like, okay, well, they're on this barn for like 4 pages or something. Like, I need to fill in those gaps between those pages. So on that sense, like, I can understand why you have to like spend more time on the farm. I don't think you had to spend a whole season on it though. Jeez. In terms of like the later seasons, I think like it's cool. They're doing some cool things. There's some good things going on. I really liked some of the later stuff in the graphic novels, so like I kind of knew where things were headed with like Negan and like these antagonists that they're encountering.
Yeah, Negan is pretty cool. I've seen clips of Negan and stuff, and
he's really cool.
Kombat or Tekken.
Maybe something like that.
I think he's in Tekken.
He was really cool in the graphic novel, and he's really cool in the show. So, and I really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, so it all kind of like, it's nice. It's a cool addition to the show. But again, they constantly implant this like goofy shit. Sometimes there is a ton of filler episodes. It's funny. I find myself thinking about how you said that you almost don't even care about the main story of Supernatural. You're more interested in the filler episodes. At this point, I wish they would just be rid of the filler episodes in The Walking Dead, because there's like 2 stories that I really care about.
That's the thing. Like, if you're going to do like Monster of the Week shows like X-Files, Buffy, Supernatural, like Monster of the Weeks, definitely do more of those episodes. But like, if you are doing something like The Walking Dead that is following like a narrative or a graphic novel or something, like the filler episodes just kind of feel like
Yeah, and the thing about The Walking Dead is it's never a full episode. It's just like scenes or things, and I had to watch a YouTube video about like the timeline, because there's some fucking insane time skips in season 10 and season 9 and stuff. It's wild. And let me tell you, if ending,
tell me about it.
if ending an episode at the most crucial point is the way to keep an audience gravitated to a show, The Walking Dead has that shit locked down. Like, every time an episode ends, it's like,
is it super
fucking
dramatic?
Time for the most exciting stuff? And it just like cuts off. Like, wait a second. This is exactly why I gave up watching like on a weekly basis. And that was probably in like season 3 or 4. I was like, man, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to find a way to watch this elsewhere. And that's exactly what I did. Netflix, I guess, has a thing. They've had it for a few years now. Walking Dead seems to release in like the fall and then the spring. So Netflix usually just drops the whole previous season the end of the summer before the fall of the next season's beginning.
Okay. I feel like shows like The Walking Dead and stuff that are kind of more like shows made for broadcast that are like really relying heavily on the like super exciting thing happening at the end of the episode. Those are really just binge-worthy shows. Like, I'm all for like weekly releases, but when your show is just kind of doing that whole drama bait thing, just let me binge it all.
Always. And like that I'm fine with that as long as I'm able to do that. Right. I mean, I guess they're at a good point in the show now, specifically because, like, for me, in particular, because the last time I did a catch up, I caught up on like season 8 and 9. So this time they left season 10 off in like a pretty good spot to where I'm not like, oh, like what's gonna happen? Like I just can't wait. I have to watch it. You know, I can wait however fucking long till it's on Netflix and I'll check it out then. Like I'm in no hurry.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad that I'm watching Supernatural now and not when it was on TV, because I think I would have lost interest long ago.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to blast my way through this graphic novel because, from what I understand, the compendium that I have is where it ends.
Okay.
So, for anybody out there who's curious, to my understanding, which, as usual, in most contexts is pretty limited, there's 4 full Walking Dead compendiums, and that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right, too. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Fact check me, hit me in the Discord, hit me in the face, whatever.
Yell at us on YouTube.
And there was other stuff that I watched. Oh yeah, on the note of Netflix providing me with a plethora of goods. Yeah. As of last night, I have officially made it to the point of being able to watch Fear Street 1666.
Nice. So you watched part 1 and part 2. What are your thoughts?
I have been really enjoying it.
It's fun.
It's campy, goofy, murderous, and really self-aware. So it's like
definitely, it's everything a slasher should be.
Great. Yeah, I mean, like when a slasher flick knows it's a slasher flick, it's kind of gratifying because, like, okay, in the first one, I wasn't totally sure like the level of where it was gonna go.
And then the bread slicer scene happened.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah. Throughout like this, well, actually, was it him first? I guess it was her first. That was very brutal.
Yeah. For anyone, spoilers. For anyone who's seen part 1, that like one of the kills is done with like one of those automatic bread slicers at the grocery store, and it's brutal.
Yeah. She got messed up. Felt bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing. Like in the beginning of this, it's like here's a group of rowdy teens. You know? Right. Like this could be anything. You know, are they even gonna say a swear word? Is there gonna be blood? And then like it started to ramp up a little bit, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
They're doing drugs and having sex.
This is cool. Yeah, drugs, sex. This is good.
Rock and roll. Okay, that's the one thing about part 1 that I didn't like is like they changed between a 90s song like every 45 seconds. And I was like, I get it. 90s music rules.
You're really trying to set the atmosphere here.
But chill a bit.
Yeah, they did not do that in the second part as much.
No.
So as I'm like watching it, it's like getting gradually more and more like intense. You're figuring out what's going on. And then like a couple people died and I was like, that wasn't like super brutal. I've seen like I hesitate to even call them like teen horror shows. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some like Netflix stuff that's a little bit more like based towards the younger people's, but
like
it's kind of brutal.
I was gonna say like CW shows, but like Netflix has some like horror shows too that are like I think it's like The Babysitter or something. Also is kind of like in that line.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but like my mind went to like Sabrina. Right, like the Sabrina remake is like it's kind of geared towards not necessarily like a younger audience, but
it's like Dark Sabrina, yeah,
and it's that got like kind of gory. So I was like, all right, maybe that's like where they'll draw the line or whatever. And then by the end, I was like, oh shit, okay, there's no line, got it.
Nope, yeah, cool. They really go for it, which made me really happy.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and they really kind of. So obviously, like I said, I knew that I was watching a slasher movie because the slasher movie told me so like a couple times.
Right. It like literally the beginning of part 1 is like an homage to like Drew Barrymore in Scream. I almost just called it Ghost in Scream.
Oh man, can you imagine?
We're gonna Ghost shirt. That's why.
Barrymore. She'd be like 12. Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go forward.
Anyway, so this what the fuck was I saying?
A slasher knowing it's a slasher.
Being a slasher. Yeah, I made that classic viewer mistake of being like, "Oh, these characters are kind of cool." Like I tried to not I tried to not get too attached, and I didn't really. I wasn't like overly like distraught when they died, but I was caught off guard. Like I kind of thought for sure that that like valedictorian was gonna, and then she got caked and sliced like a cake.
Yep.
Anyway, so moving on, part 2 I thought was a lot of fun as well.
It was a gore fest.
Yeah, it was.
They murdered children. I did not think they were going to murder children.
Yeah, they did. Nobody was safe. And, you know, I don't know how much I really want to say on the topic, but I guess I can say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an equal opportunity viewer, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to slasher flicks and horror movies, you know, everybody's a target.
Yes, absolutely.
So I can appreciate it when a movie does that. And,
no, absolutely. I'm cool.
They did it tactfully. It's not like they were killed,
which is a weird thing to say on a podcast, but like, if you're going to go for it, it's a. I mean, like, Sleepaway Camp. I mean, I guess Friday the 13th. Those were technically teenagers, but they were probably like 16. They got.
Yeah. And it's not like they did it tactfully. Most of it was like
it was
all
like
screen. And,
yeah, definitely.
But I thought it was really cool. I really like what they're doing with the story. I can't tell if I like or hate the fact that immediately after the to be continued part, it's like, look at the next movie.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, okay, I will, and I watch it, and now I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's a cool idea. Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait till I have 2 hours to spare. I'll just be sitting on the edge of my seat till then, I guess.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm excited to check it out. It was a fun ride. It was exciting, and
it was everything I wanted it to be. I didn't expect it to be great or like amazing, but it was pretty good. It was fun.
Yeah, it's got a cool story, and
part 3 is pretty good too.
I like that it's kind of like outside of the box. I also like that it was a 3-part movie released in 3 weeks.
Yeah, again, we talked about this last episode, how originally it was supposed to be like released like in theaters like a month apart each. Like that would have been, I don't know if I would have been as excited or like gone and seen all 3.
I will say I checked the dates, did a little bit of quick maths. Huge missed opportunity for this movie to be lining up the dates in the movie with the release dates. Like they were only off by a few days.
I mean, they should have done this release in October. But
I don't disagree. Like that would have been cool too. But I remember
not. It's like a good summer. Slashers are like weirdly like. Well, I guess they're not that weirdly like summer movies, but they usually are.
Makes me think of like a Stranger Things or something. They usually drop in the summertime, and it's kind of like, oh, cool, something a little different this summer.
Yeah, Halloween in July.
Yeah, but there was one of the specific dates was like July 12th. And I was like, I immediately looked at my calendar, and then I noted when the movies were coming out, and I was like, damn, you guys kind of missed that by like 2 days.
You're right. I didn't think about that. Damn.
Oh well. Those were, I think, pretty much the heavy hitters over the last couple weeks. I mean,
okay.
The Walking Dead was kind of a grind, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like 24 episodes, I think.
Yeah, that's a lot of like zombies.
Anywhere between like 39 minutes and 59 minutes a piece. So, just kind of like
nice.
Made my way through that. To be fair, though, it wasn't like a totally attentive experience all the time. Like, it's not a totally action-packed thrill ride for every scene. There's a lot of parts where I'm just like, I just want this to be done. There was a whole episode where I was just like, I'm stopping this right now. I don't want to watch this anymore. And then I came back to it later and finished it.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I always like having those types of shows just like to throw on. That you can like stop and go if you want. You can like be half paying attention. It's always good to have like one of those shows going.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
your turn.
I was gonna say yours was much more exciting than what I've been watching because I actually didn't have power for like almost a week.
I remember.
So I didn't actually get to watch too much because I was at a place that didn't have that good of internet, so I couldn't really stream anything, and all the DVDs were westerns, and I didn't really want to watch westerns. But I did watch the whole Bill and Ted trilogy. So that's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and Bill and Ted Face the Music. And I've seen Bogus Journey before. I always like that. I know a lot of people don't like that one, but I still love it. And Face the Music was pretty damn good. That was the one that came out this year, a couple months ago. It was kind of strange seeing older Keanu play Ted again. But,
especially after going on 3 movies worth of murder sprees.
Yeah, being like John Wick and being on The Matrix and stuff, and just all those movies. But
2 trilogies of murder sprees.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought it was really good. I really we'll talk when we talk about this movie. I'll talk about it more. But I really can't think of like a more wholesome trilogy to watch than the Bill and Ted trilogy. So that was a good. I'm glad I finally watched the 3rd one. I've been watching more Supernatural. I actually am.
We'll get there one day.
Yeah, I'm kind of taking a break right now. I'm like season 9. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like not watch it for a week because I still have like 6 more seasons. And I've been like watching like internet TV. So, are you familiar with Dropout TV?
I know the name, but like I couldn't really tell you anything about it. I've heard of it.
You know College Humor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so College Humor, I think Dropout TV is their service or something. It's like something you can, another subscription service, but I mean, I don't feel bad giving them money because they're like an independent thing doing their own stuff. And they have game shows and stuff called,
nice.
One is called Actually, which is really funny. It's a game show where one person reads a nerdy fact, like the host reads a nerdy fact, and then the 3 people playing have to buzz in and say actually, and say the incorrect what's the incorrect statement in this sentence, and it's really fun. It has a really good cast. It's really funny. There's a lot of episodes on YouTube. I actually recommend checking it out. Actually, it's really funny. There's also another game show called Game Changer.
Okay.
Where the whole premise is the game show changes every single time.
Okay.
So the contestants don't actually know what they're doing until they get there, and the part of the game is they have to figure out the rules of the game. So one was they just had to like make sound effects, which was kind of funny with their voice. One they had to like run around like a block. Oh, excuse me. My allergies are awful. They had to run around like their studio block and like try to find sleeper agents by running up to random people and reciting like sleeper agent words like is the flower blue in March and stuff. And that was really funny because there was just people just walking their dogs and stuff, and it was good stuff. And they also do like a bunch of like tabletop role-playing game stuff.
Nice.
So I've been just kind of watching that. But other than that, I haven't really been watching too much. I'll probably get back to Supernatural soon.
Yeah. To be fair, I have consumed a lot of YouTube media in the past couple weeks as well.
Same. I don't know why. Just like that's like kind of what I've been consuming right now. It's just kind of like a lot of online stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have any Disney shows to watch right now. So like usually like that's like we have to talk about Loki, so I can talk about it on the show. But like I don't have that, so like I don't feel pressured to watch anything. Well, not pressured, but like. It's like I don't have to watch anything other than the movie for the podcast. So, yeah. All right, so let's go forward and talk about the news. Like I said, we didn't record last week, so we've got a lot of news. And we've also got a lot of trailers. So let's start off with some movie trailers. Because we got some pretty big ones these last 2 weeks. We got... well, I'm not going to list them all. Let's go through them. So the first one we got... which was actually, I think, released 2 days ago, is the Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer 2. Have you had a chance to watch it?
I did.
What are your thoughts? I think we got a more of a look at Carnage this time around. It also seemed to have revealed a little bit more of the story, which we talked about. Tom Hardy actually had a decent amount of control of the story this time, so I'm interested to see how it goes. But what did you think of it?
I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm excited. I don't really have any knocks against it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of up in the air about it, I guess. Like, I really like the first one, so I'm excited about the second one, but
yeah,
I normally try to not get my hopes up too high with stuff about superheroes and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. I've seen the same comment pop up on this trailer, and every time someone talks about Venom, saying it seems like such a 2000s style superhero movie, kind of like the Spider-Man Sam Raimi's. Which I'm cool with that. Like I liked those superhero movies. And I still haven't seen the first one, but this one does look fun. I probably will watch the first one before this one comes out, just so I can watch this.
Yeah.
I still think Carnage needs to be more stabby and pointy.
More of a stabby boy.
Yeah, he still looks too organic to me, which is weird. He's a symbiote. He should be look more organic. But I don't know. Whenever I read the comics as a kid, I just always pictured Carnage as like having like knife hands.
Yeah, or like the big axes.
Yeah, exactly. Which we might see. Woody Harrelson like playing a serial killer, Carnage, is kind of like really cool though. Like really down my alley.
I really like Woody Harrelson. I really like Tom Hardy. Yeah, I mean, I like the chemistry that Venom and Eddie have. I think it'll be
So, okay, this is off topic, but if we're talking about Woody Harrelson, I actually found out some fun facts about Woody Harrelson last week, listening to another podcast. Did you know Woody Harrelson's father was like a hitman?
No.
Who's in jail for murdering people?
No, I did not.
Yeah, and people, he's been allegations of involvement in the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
And then I guess he almost broke out of like Supermax prison.
Jeez, is he still alive?
No, he died of a heart attack in 2007.
Wow.
But like he has like, if you go to his Wikipedia, it goes personal life, then murder, allegations of involvement in the assassination of John F. Kennedy, then escape attempts.
Woody Harrelson is I don't know if he's still this way, but he used to like live off the grid kinda. And,
yeah,
he was like a hemp farmer.
Yeah, which makes sense now that, you know, his like family has passed. Wait, Woody Harrelson's mother's last name is Oswald. Like Lee Harvey Oswald? Wait, what? Alright, okay. There's more to this than I think there is.
Time for a deep dive.
Okay, so Woody Harrelson's possibly allegedly family killed JFK. Allegedly. Allegedly parodied. But I just heard that the other day, and I was just like, that kind of like Woody Harrelson. It is kind of funny that, like, obviously all those murders stuff not funny, but Woody Harrelson got famous for playing for being like one of the main characters in Natural Born Killers, which is a movie about serial killers.
Yeah, true.
Which it was a weird parallel.
Own it, man.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But anyway, back to Venom 2, him playing Carnage. He looks good. I'm probably most excited for him playing Carnage. I think the movie is probably going to be simple. It's probably going to be Eddie versus Woody Harrelson, Cletus. Maybe they even like... Okay. Before I go on that rant, I like that Cletus Carnage gets his abilities by biting Eddie. Yeah. That is a really funny way to get superpowers, is by biting someone. It's like the opposite of how Spider-Man got superpowers. It's asking the question, what if Peter Parker bit a spider? But it's probably going to be a simple movie. It's probably going to be like, they fight a lot. That Screech lady who is probably going to team up with Carnage for a bit, and then she's probably going to realize that Carnage is a bad guy because he is a serial killer, and then Eddie, Venom, and Screech are going to beat Carnage, and also seems like there's the fun thing. It seems like Eddie and Venom are going to be having like couples therapy, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, they from what I heard on like some commentary or something, they've been together now for like quite some time.
Okay. Nice.
Like a year or something like that, because now his ex is married and whatnot. So,
right, you know. And I like that's probably going to play into it. It looks good. I don't really have too much more to say about that.
That's all I've got to say about that.
That's all I've got to say about that. All right, well, let's move on to another. That's not a sequel. It is the third movie of this franchise. We finally got a Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. I think this is the first one.
I'm pretty certain, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like not. So the one with the with Melissa McCarthy was not at all related to the canon.
No,
story.
that was just them trying to make money.
Okay, but this
this
like,
one is because it has what's his
Paul
face's. Well, yeah,
the Marshmallow Man.
Famous Paul Rudd in all the Ghostbusters movies.
You mean the Marshmallow Man?
Exactly. My favorite fifth Ghostbuster, Paul Rudd. No, it has Egon. Those are Egon's kids. Dr. Egon. And we also, do we see Dan Aykroyd in this? Yeah, we see a picture of all of them.
Picture. Yeah.
And they're actually watching the famous New York Ghostbusters ad, which do you spooks and specters? You know who to call.
So yeah, I watched, like, you know how when you're watching YouTube media, it'll be like, here's a 15-second trailer instead of
trailer
like
before your trailer, yeah,
instead of like a 2.5-minute trailer. So that's the one that I watched. Now I've just silently watched this one.
Yeah,
and, looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited. I didn't realize that it was. And now I just assume that everybody's just trying to, take old shit and make it their own shit and make a bunch of money off of it.
Right. Which they're probably still doing that with this, but it does seem to have more heart. I mean, I think they got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. I don't know if Rick Moranis or Sigourney Weaver is going to be in it. But they got, like, Ernie Hudson and, like, the original Ghostbusters other than Harold Ramis, who unfortunately passed away. They're, like, in it. And I remember Bill Murray saying that he would never be in a third one unless he liked the script. So there's that. And it seems crazy. It seems out of control. It kind of seems a little bit more action-y than the original Ghostbusters. Because, like, the original Ghostbusters, like, are pretty much just straight comedies. This seems a little bit more action adventure. But did you ever see the synopsis for the original Ghostbusters movie written by Dan Aykroyd? It had them going to, like, hell and meeting aliens and stuff. So it was so weird that they actually, I think someone else in the cast had to convince the studio to do it. And they would, like, help Dan Aykroyd, like, rewrite the script because it was so out there and crazy. Dan Aykroyd, super conspiracy nut, super into aliens and stuff. If you ever listen to an interview with him, it is actually pretty great.
He's a very interesting person. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it was it was really interesting.
Also on the last podcast on the left podcast too, they interviewed him too. He's out there. But anyway, this seems kind of out there, too. And I mean, Paul Rudd's in it. If Paul Rudd's in it, I'm probably going to see it.
Me up.
Yeah, I like me Paul Rudd. Let's just say that.
True.
Paul Rudd is great. He's funny. He doesn't age somehow.
He's been 25 for my whole fucking life.
Exactly. The kid from Stranger Things and he's just like the generic kid to put in any, like, 80s remake movie. What is his name's like Wolf, right?
In what?
The Stranger Things kid.
Yeah, Wolfhard. Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah. It's a cool name.
I just watched an old ass movie recently, and it had Paul Rudd in it. He just appeared. He doesn't.
He doesn't. Finn Wolfhard. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know. I had to read it out loud for me to be like. I want to click on him.
I have to find this movie because it was so, like, it was so not like crazy.
Was it Mac and Me?
No. Oh man, I wonder if he was even, like, credited. What did I see him in?
Was it Friends?
No. I've been watching a lot of Friends.
I was gonna say you've been watching Friends because I know he appears in Friends. Watching Ant-Man.
I'm gonna find it. Damn it.
Well, so you said it's older, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he appears in Reno 911 a lot. I need to
This
rewatch Reno
was
911.
definitely older than Anchorman. Oh,
Uh,
you know what it was? No, it was
was it
It's Always Sunny.
Does he appear in his own?
But I'm not sure if it was him. Let me see.
Yeah. Quick, to the research machine.
I'm sure you would know the episode. It was early on.
He was in. I forgot he was in like Halloween like 5.
Maybe it wasn't him. Okay, so
yeah,
there's
I'm not seeing It's Always Sunny popping up on his IMDb.
I'm gonna find out who it was now. It's Always Sunny. It's when Dennis pretends to be a hippie.
God, now I can't. Okay.
He like Charlie and Frank go to the dump, and Dennis pretends to be a hippie because this dude pissed him off, and then they proceed to.
Is it the gang finds a dumpster baby?
No, that's what came up when I typed 2.
Okay.
Yeah. He bangs the dude's girlfriend.
Right.
Charlie goes to the dump.
I feel like a lot. He goes to the dump a lot, though.
This is the important one. Charlie, it keeps going back to this dumpster baby one, but I don't think it is.
It's not flowers for Charlie, right?
No, that's like flowers for Algernon.
Yeah, flowers for Charlie is like probably my favorite. It's Always Sunny.
Oh, it is so good.
It's so good.
Maybe this is it. Oh my gosh, it is it. I'm learning. His name's Todd Grinnell.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, I'm gonna send you his IMDb page, and
yeah, I don't even
just know that in his younger years, he looked like Paul Rudd.
I can see it. I can see it. Okay, I'm looking at pictures of him.
Yeah, and he's really been on a lot of soap operas, it looks like.
Yeah, someone actually says, like, I guess this is, like, a lot of people think it looks like Paul Rudd. So, yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Nice. Paul Rudd, everyone. But yeah, back to the Ghostbusters trailer. I'll see it. I like the Ghostbusters franchise. Who's directing it? I don't even know that. Let's see.
Said it in the trailer.
I know it did. It's Jason Reitman. I mean, Dan Aykroyd's writing it, so that's good. He directed Juno. Okay. A lot of TV shows. I don't know. I mean, if Dan Aykroyd's writing it, I'll watch it. So yeah, that's the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. Let's move on to a trailer that's incredibly strange that I threw on there because I thought we just talked about 2 incredibly Hollywood movies. So we're going to talk about a new A24 movie that they're producing called Lamb.
I'm so excited.
Have you seen this trailer?
Yeah, and it's funny because like before I looked at our list of talking points, I had heard about this but hadn't had the chance to watch the trailer yet.
Oh my god, it's so bizarre.
I heard about it last week or so ago at work from a coworker, and I was like, oh, that sounds fucking sweet. And then I forgot to look it up, and it was on here, and I was like, I'm watching this shit right now, and it does look sweet. I'm excited.
So for anyone who doesn't know, first of all, go check out the trailer. It's the Lamb official trailer. It is being produced by A24. Again, every time we talk about A24, they're not the ones making the films, but they sure can pick the right movies to produce.
True.
Lamb is a very strange film where it revolves. I think they're speaking Icelandic. About between an Icelandic couple and a human lamb offspring that they raise as a child that they find. It looks it looks terrifying. I think it looks funny.
Fantastic.
It looks so good. Someone jokingly said that this is going to be the A24 multiverse and Black Phillip's going to appear. And I would be so happy. But no. It looks bizarre. Like, truly, I don't even know how to describe this trailer. Like, the guy's super happy that he finally has a kid. It seems like there's some conflict with, like, his family being like, it's not a kid, it's a lamb, but it's because it's
animal.
It's an animal, yeah. And it looks really abstract too. I know it did come out in Cannes, so the Cannes Film Festival, it did premiere there, and I heard a lot of really good things from it, about it from Cannes. So I think I'm gonna add it to like the list of The Green Knight, which is getting insane reviews still right now. The Green Knight's still doing so good. I can't wait for that to go out on streaming so I can watch it.
So now we have Lamb and Pig on the docket.
Yeah, and again, Pig. I heard Pig is also doing incredibly good.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a filling summer.
Sir, I think there's also like a film called Cow coming out too. Like, I'm not even kidding. Yeah, Cow is a 2021 British documentary film. That also premiered at Cannes this year. So,
Duck.
Duck. I can't wait to see Giraffe. But anyway, truly bizarre movie. I'm excited for it. The director I'm not familiar with. His name is Valdemar Johansson, so that's why I think they're speaking Icelandic. But yeah, A24. They did Witch, Moonlight, Lighthouse. I think they did Pig, Hereditary,
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, pretty much any great film. I did see someone, like some weird discourse on Twitter, which is always stupid discourse happening on Twitter, about being like, I don't understand how people can always talk up A24 so much. They're just a production company. It's not like they're making their own movies. And it's just like, well, they're at least funding the right movies.
Right,
like,
they let people take the fucking training wheels off.
Yeah, you need, in this kind of world we live in, you need to have backers that are willing to give people, filmmakers like that, the resources to create their movies. And that is, we should be applauding A24 for doing that.
As I do. We always do.
Yeah, we always do.
We talk about these
Yeah,
guys.
because they're always coming out with great stuff. Talking about A24, so like that was the Lamb trailer. Everyone, I do recommend checking it out. I can't tell. I don't even know the tone. Is it gonna be a horror film? Is it gonna just be like a strange experimental film, a drama? I don't know. It looks great. But let's move on to a film that we have confirmed is going to be a horror film, and I think Jordan Peele in the past has worked with A24. Don't quote me on that. I think I might be wrong. But we got Jordan Peele's next horror movie has been announced, and it is called Nope.
Us. Them. Nope.
Yeah. I really like Jordan Peele horror films. I will say that.
Fucking mononym movies. Why?
Get Out, Us.
Well, all of his movies are great. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen of his has been great.
But it is really funny.
There's no denying there's like an absurd amount of mononym films coming out.
It really is. Yes.
Lamb. Nope. Them. Us. Tusk. Like, that's just 6 that I thought of immediately.
Yeah.
Oh
it really
God.
is.
Anyway,
it is kind of you're right. It is like the new trend of just naming your film one word. It's like if The Matrix came out now, it would just be Matrix.
Yeah, no anything, no like subtext. It does make things a bit more like punchy though.
Yeah.
You know, like it kind of makes it like a definitive statement, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a bit that's more of like an adjective than it would normally be, or like you could use the word as an adjective, like us. You know, it's just kind of like us. You know, it's just kind of like it's a little bit more punchy, I guess.
Right. But this one's Nope.
Nope. Do you know what this makes me think of? Exploding Kittens.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. It's so. Right now, if you look at all the films that Jordan Peele has directed, it goes Get Out, Us, Nope. It's like it's having a conversation. I really liked Get Out. I actually really liked Get Out. I think it's actually one of my top horror films of the last 10 years.
I feel it as well.
Yeah, Us was not as good as Get Out, but I thought also pretty damn good. So even though it is,
cast of Us.
oh yes, cast. And there was a lot of comedic parts in Us that was really great, and also like a lot of really terrifying parts.
And one of my favorite songs ever. I got 5 on it.
Yeah,
that's such
absolutely. It really is. So we don't actually know anything about this film. We have a poster. We know Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, and Stephen Yeun. Yeah, I was gonna say I know Stephen Yeun's in it.
I just watched him get his fucking brains blown out in Walking Dead on that timeline video I was talking about.
Hell yeah. But it's just called Nope, and like the poster, it says a new terror from the mind of Academy Award winner Jordan Peele. That doesn't really tell us much. But like the poster is like a carnival, it looks like, or a town in the mountains, and then a single cloud with some carnival like flags attached to it. I have no idea what this poster is telling us.
No.
But it's kind of got me excited. Nope.
It's telling you nope.
Nope.
What it makes me think of is like, you know how like when someone walks up on something in a scary movie or in any scary
it just goes nope,
and they're just like nope, not fucking with that. I feel like with this poster, it's like this perspective. If I'm a person, like if I'm a rational person who's not in a fucking horror movie, and I walk up on this, that's probably what I'm gonna say.
I mean, it is the logical thing to say. It's just like nope,
and I would just turn around and go back to my campsite and survive.
Exactly. Which, it being a Jordan Peele movie, he does like making fun of those tropes in horror. Like Get Out is like kind of has that vibe to it. It's really pointing out like why aren't people just running away? Why aren't people trying to get out?
Yeah.
So it could be a play on that. I mean, Jordan Peele also known for Key and Peele, a comedy duo.
Sketch show.
Yeah, which is really funny still. Yeah. Also, I forgot Jordan Peele also co-wrote the new Candyman coming out in I think August, which is I'm excited for.
I actually saw the trailer for that on TV.
Yeah,
it pretty good.
It does. It really does. The Candyman franchise is pretty great. So yeah, I'm excited for that. It's not coming out till 2022, which I make that seem like it's farther away than it is. It's really not. That's crazy. All right, and let's move on to kind of the biggest news that there has been in the movie industry in the last 2 weeks. And this kind of really started a domino effect. So Scarlett Johansson sues Disney. Which is big.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney over the Black Widow release on Disney Plus. I'm not going to read this entire article, but I've been keeping my eye on this, and it's pretty much that when they did Scarlett Johansson's contract, it was originally supposed to be released in theaters, and she was supposed to get a cut of that money. A lot of actors, that's how they negotiate their contract. And when COVID hit and Scarlett Johansson and her management started to realize that it could get released on Disney Plus, they reached out to Disney saying, hey, if you're going to do this, we need to redo the contract.
Yeah.
They did not. They did not.
I was reading this earlier. I'm kind of like finishing it now. So keep talking.
So anyway, Scarlett Johansson is now suing Disney saying, hey, because Black Widow did see a decrease in profits after the first week being in theaters, because a lot of people were going to Disney Plus to watch it, and Disney has made it so that all the money that they got from the Black Widow premiere on Disney Plus does not go to Scarlett Johansson, which is shitty. So she's filed a suit against Disney. And like I said... Yeah, and then they responded saying that Scarlett Johansson was like being irrational. Let me see if I can find the actual response, because it was kind of...
It's on this link you sent at the bottom.
Is it?
Well, yeah. Close. It's not... There are quotes, but it is paraphrasing.
Yeah, so... so this is how Disney responded. This lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that's really shitty. Like, yeah, you guys are the ones who released the movie. First of all, they really
passed the ball to her there.
Yeah. First of all, Disney, you guys were the ones who released the movie. Second of all, Disney and a lot of these corporations, I'm using Disney, I'm targeting Disney here because, first of all, I like targeting Disney.
Well, we always do.
But they're the ones currently getting in trouble for this, and that's where all the lawsuits are targeted. They have always done this, where if they can somehow not pay their talent, their artists, their filmmakers and stuff, they won't, because they're Disney. You don't really have, like, who's going to go after Disney?
Right.
Scarlett Johansson is in a very good spot right now because she's done with being Black Widow. She doesn't have to work with Disney again. So she can finally go and target Disney and sue them, which she should be doing, because this could set a precedent for... I'm going to say this. I know there's a more stupid Twitter discourse, Reddit discourse, where people are like, oh, just millionaires fighting billionaires, which I get the sentiment. Like, Scarlett Johansson... very rich, but it also, people deserve the money for what they did.
Yeah.
And if Scarlett Johansson, someone who can fight Disney because she is a millionaire, sets a precedent that other people can go after Disney, like the CGI artists, the filmmakers, the best boys, people working on the film who did not get paid for their work. And this is like even a bigger issue because of Disney in the last 10 years has also been getting, in trouble. Well, not in trouble. They don't actually get punished for this, but has been known for taking Star Wars extended universes, people like authors' work and stuff, and bring it into their own universe without paying royalties to those authors. So yeah, so this is a very big, because
good for her.
Yeah, and I said this is a domino effect because now who was in Cruella? Is that Emma Roberts? Emma Stone? I always mix them up. I'm gonna just like people suing
was it Hermione,
Disney.
or was it the Spider-Man?
Spider-Man girl. Emma Stone. So it was Emma Stone is now in talks about suing Disney about Cruella because they also did the same thing. I know some of the Pixar artists are now talking about, because Soul and I think Luca both went to Disney Plus without actually having a theatrical release. They're going after Disney. I know Jared Butler went after White House is Down or whatever, which came out in 2011. I don't know what that was about, but I know that came from this. No. They're just going after another corporation. But I mean, Disney does own everything, so he could be going after them.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. No, this is good news. This is big news.
Kick the fucking door down. Get your money. Exactly.
Hopefully this sets a precedent that the corporations will pay their employees. This is the tip of the iceberg. We are seeing a A-list celebrity going after Disney for the money she is owed. So hopefully this kind of reveals the rest of the iceberg and shows all the other people that Disney is not paying correctly or giving their rights. Like, the Star Wars thing is really shitty. I recommend anyone to read up about it. A lot of the authors of the Star Wars extended universe, first of all, were told their stuff wasn't canon, which is kind of shitty. But then Disney has been pulling their ideas, their characters from their books and novels, and I think some maybe cartoons and stuff, using them without paying the authors, which is incredibly shitty. It's not this is not new for Disney. They've always done it. They've always not really paid their artists. So good for Scarlett Johansson. Good for everyone trying to get the money that they're owed from Disney. Everyone who's defending Disney, are you serious right now? That's all I have to say to you.
Do you not see what's happening?
Yeah, and I just think it's crazy that Disney's response to this was she's being really irrational right now. There's a pandemic. It's no, shut up. You know what you're doing.
So I have a weird stance on people throwing around that word victim all the time.
Right.
So you got to be careful with that, but it seems like that's exactly what just happened here with their response. Sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. So for me, that says that's Disney saying hey, we got hurt by the pandemic too.
Right. And exactly.
Yeah, multi-gajillion-dollar company that's been around for
Monopoly.
150 fucking years. Like, yeah, I'm sure, you hurt a little bit when the theaters didn't open, but like
Yeah.
these people couldn't do their jobs. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't go to work.
Right, they're so like, yeah, Disney trying to kind of play the victim here and be like, but our money, like Disney, you opened up your parks like 3 months ago in the middle of the pandemic. You have no ground to stand on. Also, I hate Twitter so much. I just opened it and people are like, if Scarlett Johansson's thing takes away money from Disney so they don't make Loki 2, I'm going to be so mad. That's not how that's going to work. Disney has more money than they could ever use. And also,
they have so many fucking lawyers on retainer and everything. They don't even have to pay them.
Exactly. And
paid for it.
And pay your talent, pay your artists. Just pay people what they're worth and what they're like. Just God.
That's
also
kind of where I'm at with this. Like, if you're saying stop taking Disney's money, like, would you do any job ever in your life for free?
Yeah, yeah.
A job, not volunteer work or helping someone out.
Right.
A job.
It's not. It's the same argument of, oh, you're getting like I hear as a filmmaker and a video editor and everyone who went to art school here is like, oh no, just take this and you'll get the reputation. I'll pass your word around. No, pay me for my work.
Give me money.
Give me money. I work. I did this.
Reputation can't pay the bills.
Yeah, when I can use my reputation to pay my bills, then we'll talk. But yeah, pay people. So there's that. There's also this kind of like conspiracy going around that it's not even really a conspiracy that Disney doesn't really. Okay, this is my conspiratorial brain right now. Okay. There's no way that Disney didn't know this was going to happen. They probably have like $500 million like set aside for this lawsuit that they knew was going to happen. I really don't think Disney wants to release their Disney Plus numbers because they haven't yet. And if they release their Disney Plus numbers, that can really help with other actors and actresses' contract negotiations. So it's going to get real spicy real quick with that.
Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't go to trial, I'd be willing to bet that Ms. Johansson may have received just like a large sum of money.
Yeah.
Just to like keep it from being like a big public thing.
Absolutely. I just typed in a lawsuit Disney, and there's also 25,000 Disneyland employees suing Disney for not paying them a living wage, which I've heard of, like what it like cast members. It sounds like a horror story. Well, anyway, let's.
So my reaction there may have some people thinking that I'm like, why sue Disney? But I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah, it's like, why not
just pay your staff?
Yeah, pay people a living wage. You can afford it. Like you can afford it twice over.
You gotta give people what they're worth.
Absolutely, pay people a living wage. That's our stance on this podcast. Pay people what they're worth. You're a multi-bajillion, gillion dollar company.
Like, you're especially you should be held to like a fucking astronomical standard.
Right. And the thing is they get away with it. It's the same thing with the whole DMCA law. They pretty much wrote it. So it's like this is why we're always angry at Disney, for everyone who is always downvotes us.
People are like, why do you hate Disney? It's like every week Disney's like, here's a reason to hate us.
We're the bad guys. All right, let's move on to television.
Thank goodness.
Yes. We also got a new trailer, we got a new trailer for a television series, and we got the Dexter New Blood trailer.
I don't know if I watched that. Maybe I did. No, I did. No, did I?
Did we talk about this last week? It's like a minute 30.
I did. Yeah. I watched it. I did.
It looks good. It looks like Dexter. He's up in a small town in the north because there's a lot of snow. Oh god, I don't want to play the music. He's kind of like monologue-y, because that's what he does. That's what he does. What Dexter does. He talks to himself a lot in his brain, and we hear it. He holds knives a lot and is shaky. It looks good. Like I think we've talked about this a couple times. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch it. I'm just flicking through it just to reassure myself that
Yeah.
I did in fact watch this. Yes, I did.
Yeah, it says, okay, New Blood was about Dexter living quietly in a small town America. Oh wait, I need to read the whole sentence. Okay, fine. If New Blood was about Dexter living quietly in a small town America, it wouldn't be much of a show. Obviously, those old dark urges return with a vengeance. So yeah, that's pretty much what we get in the trailer, is Dexter living in a small town, and his urges to kill are back.
Boy, does that guy like killing.
Yeah. This says he's living in a little town in upstate New York. Why did I think he went to Alaska?
What? I thought he did.
I did, but this is saying
he went to Canada or something.
Yeah. This say for the first time in 8 years, Dexter is back. Michael C. Hall reprises his role from the. Has Michael C. Hall been in anything else? That's a side comment.
The name sounds so familiar for so many other reasons, but I'm not sure. I'm looking him up right now.
It says he reprises his role from the popular Showtime series in the new Dexter New Blood, which premieres on the cable channel this fall. In the first trailer, Dexter has managed to avoid detection for his past activities for a decade. He's living quietly in a little town in upstate New York. Is that where he went?
I really thought that he went to like Canada.
Yeah, because he was cutting down trees. This is Oregon. Wait. I thought it was Alaska. Because Alaska's the farthest place you can go from Florida in the United States.
So he's been in a few things. He directed a thing called After Adderall.
Ooh, interesting.
He voiced Batman in Justice League Gods and Monsters.
Nice. I can see his voice. He was in Gamer. With what, Gerald Butler? Is that Gerald Butler? Gerard Butler. Jared. Called Jared Butler. American Gerald Butler.
Dexter the game? That was a thing?
What?
I guess.
Okay. Well, I guess he's in upstate New York, which doesn't seem like a good place to hide if you're a serial killer. Honestly, there's a lot of people in New York, even if you're not in the city.
He was in 6 Feet Under for like a long time. I never watched this show, but I remember it being on like when I was growing up, and I remember it being not like popular to me because I was like too young to like give a shit. But it won a bunch of Emmys, and it was on for like 4 years.
Yeah, that's all I know about it too. Did you know that Dexter was a book series?
No,
I didn't either. I guess a lot of people knew that because I heard someone talking about it. And I guess in the book it gets supernatural, so I'm kind of glad they didn't make it supernatural. Even though I still don't like the whole Dexter subplot where there's like a secret like school for serial killers. I thought it was a weird subplot in the show. But I'm glad it didn't make it supernatural. So yeah, I'm excited for it. That's coming back in the fall. Still can't believe upstate New York. That just seems wrong to me for some reason.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We have a date for the Lord of the Rings show. If you guys remember, I think it was either the last episode or the episode before, we talked about one of the actors saying that he is stuck in a Groundhog Day scenario when he never knows when Lord of the Rings will be done filming, and he never knows when he's going to be able to leave New Zealand. So luckily for that guy, we finally got a release date. Lord of the Rings TV series sets 2022 release date on Amazon Prime Video.
Good news, you don't have to wait a fucking year.
But filming is wrapped, so they can leave at least. The actors and actresses can leave.
I'm glad they get to go home.
Yeah, release date September 2nd, 2022. This epic new drama brings to screen for the first time J.R.R. Tolkien's fabled Second Age of Middle-earth's history. Beginning in the time of relative peace, thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings books, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new. Ooh, familiar. I wonder who's going to be familiar. As they confront the long-feared re-emergence of evil to Middle-earth. Do you think it's going to be like Tom Bombadil?
I think it's maybe. I don't know.
Gandalf?
This says Bilbo. Well, I
How?
saw the name Bilbo.
Oh, I was gonna say Bilbo was 100. His birth. He was in the Lord of the Rings. It's his 111th birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what the big party was of the Fellowship.
I know.
Duh, I know that. Don't tell me. We also got some first images from the series, which you can kind of see an elven city in the background.
Okay.
Which looks pretty cool. It's just like kind of a concept picture, which I mean, it's kind of how I expected it to look, so it's not like anything that I'm like, whoa! But,
did you hear Luke Skywalker is going to be in What If?
What? Is it Mark Hamill or Luke? What?
I'm just kidding. Oh. I scrolled down on that article about Lord of the Rings at the bottom. It's like, what if director and head writer reveal what it will take to get a Marvel?
Oh, I see that too. And that's right next to Ghostbusters Afterlife. Toys Unite the Old Squad. Nice.
Oh man, that's actually really exciting. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. So yeah, almost a year from now. A year and a month, we will be having the Lord of the Rings Amazon Prime TV series that they only spent $1 billion on.
We'll be getting those feelings again.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, that might be what I'm most excited for. Is to just hear like what they do with the soundtrack.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I wonder who is doing the soundtrack. It's probably not. What's his face? Is it?
Peter Jackson?
Peter Jackson didn't do the soundtrack. Was it Hans Zimmer who did the
Hans?
No, it's not. It's not.
I think that the Lord of the Rings soundtrack is by a lot of people.
Well, it's by a certain person because I listen to his music on Spotify sometime. Because I'm a nerd. It is by. Oh my god, it's gonna drive me crazy. The Prophecy. Howard Shore. It's Howard Shore.
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's Howard Shore. A lot of Googling this episode. A lot of research.
Yes. Should have done this before.
Yes. We never know where our conversations are going.
True. That's true. We can't rely on ourselves to stay on track.
I make a list, and then from that list, we go everywhere.
It's loose.
It's loose. We like a loosey-goosey here. I can't access his IMDb for some reason, so I have no idea if he's doing it, but hopefully he is. If not, I mean, the music's probably gonna be great. Amazon did throw $1 billion at it. They didn't actually throw $1 billion at it, but it's still $600 million.
Why couldn't you access it?
I don't know. It's not opening for me.
Jeez.
Ah, man.
It says here Howard Shore's last works were in 2018. From his IMDb.
Is he dead? No, he's not. Okay. No, just want to make sure. Who is doing the music for the not Halo, Amazon Prime Lord of the Rings?
Lord.
No, this is just telling me that Howard Shore did the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe they haven't even announced that yet. Maybe they haven't even done the music yet.
That's actually a good point too. Maybe they haven't hired anyone.
Yeah.
There's the cast. Here we go. Series producers, casting, production, art direction, set direction, blah 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 blah.
Everyone who's currently yelling at the radio with the answer.
Sound.
I appreciate you. Yeah, they probably haven't announced it yet. Now that I think about it.
I found the sound department, but it doesn't just say music by anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll probably find out in a year. Let's move on. So I put this next part in only because he is doing better now. But 2 weeks ago, Bob Odenkirk had a health scare. I think he passed out on the set of Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul. Yeah, it was also big news. Bob Odenkirk. I don't know why I keep putting a B in his last name. Is absolutely a person who rules. So I am very happy to say that he is doing better now. But yeah, that was kind of big news. I know like everyone was holding like their breath in when it kind of was announced last week that he passed out and was rushed to the hospital. But for anyone who didn't know that, it is good news that he is now doing better. His son has tweeted out that he is recovering. He's even tweeted out thanking everyone. But my God, I just wanted to talk about Bob Odenkirk right now. If you guys haven't seen like Mr. Show or obviously Breaking Bad or Nobody, like
Nobody. He also has oh man, he has a comedy duo special with someone. I can't remember.
It's probably David Cross.
I think it is.
He always works with David Cross. Like I don't think I'm overstating this or being pedantic or anything. Like Bob Odenkirk and David Cross like literally created what is comedy, like for television and like throughout the 2000s. Like Mr. Show is like the sketch show that made every other sketch show like good. Which I really recommend. If you haven't seen Mr. Show, go watch it. He also wrote for Saturday Night Live in the 90s, which were some of the best Saturday Night Lives. But I think everyone says that about their Saturday Night Lives. It's like the ones when they were kids are the best.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's doing good. I just wanted to bring that up. He's not even that old, so it was kind of crazy. Have you watched any of Better Call Saul?
Yes and no.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's different. My dad's like all the way caught up with it. I've only watched, I'd say like the first season and maybe a half. It's pretty interesting. I mean, they do a good job of kind of like tying things together.
Was one of the best characters in that show. Probably my favorite character, to be honest.
Yeah.
Saul Goodman is so good. Oh, that character.
And the show I was talking about is with Bob and David, and it is
David Cross, yeah.
Bob and David emerge from the time machine they entered 16 years ago and are reunited with the cast of Mr. Show.
Nice. David Cross also incredibly hilarious. He is Tobias Funke on Arrested Development. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he blew
Get a life.
Watch Arrested Development right now if you don't know who I'm talking about. He was also Bob Odenkirk was also in Nobody, which also ruled. I talked about that.
I haven't got the chance to see that yet.
Show, yeah, I reckon it's good. He was like buff in that. He was also in I Think You Should Leave. He was in a sketch with I Think You Should Leave, which is
third podcast in a row that's come up. Need to watch it.
It's such a good sketch show. It's so good. Everyone needs to watch it. Oh my God! Just for so many skits are so good.
He went his ass off for Nobody.
Yeah. So
I watched an interview on like Kimmel or something.
I hope that didn't cause him to have issues. Kind of do because like it is like I'm not gonna say that it was like obviously probably wasn't. They said they are saying it now. It's a small heart attack, but like some actors like destroy their bodies to get into roles, and I'm not saying he did it for Nobody, but like look at Christian Bale. Yeah, I was gonna say look at Christian Bale. I'm surprised he's not dead.
Talked about Christian Bale. Have you seen that movie? What is it called, The Machinist? Or
yeah, he
like
goes
that?
from being like 100 pounds, and then like he beefs up for the next movie. He's like 250.
Yeah,
I don't know how his body does it.
And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in real life in like a month.
Right. It's like I don't.
Tom Hardy both are like Tom Hardy is notorious for like putting himself in like particularly sticky situations trying to prepare for roles.
Yeah. So I'm crazy and oh God it's crazy to me that like a lot of these actors, which they probably do have health like issues, like I don't think a human body is supposed to be able to change that fast that often.
No, it's not. It's terribly unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's a huge amount of stress on like your insides.
Yeah. One of my favorite like kind of like changes is Kumail Nanjiani going from like the average comedian build to being like the most buff human being ever for the Eternals. Which is funny to watch, like people from other franchises join the MCU and then them having to get buff. The only person I don't think got incredibly buff for a Marvel movie is Paul Rudd. but Paul Rudd doesn't change.
Yeah, looking at like Chris Pratt between Guardians of the Galaxy and Parks and Rec is so funny.
It really is. Exactly, that's a good one. And then there's Paul Rudd, who just doesn't
Paul Rudd
change.
all the time. I'm Paul Rudd all the time.
Yeah, just Paul Rudd all the time.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So I'm glad Bob Odenkirk is doing good. I know that was like a really terrifying. You're not wrong. Yeah. Hello, Mud and Python, and thank you. It is always funny. I think when comedians get really buff. Does that make them less funny? Is the real question.
When they get buff?
Yeah.
Not always.
I feel like they might. Maybe they just become like less. Like, can you imagine like Jerry Seinfeld like really buff and then trying to do like?
I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
But Jerry really Seinfeld, dude, I don't know if he's like jacked, but he's a very, very fit person. He gets up every day and like goes to the gym and works out all the time. Like
I did not know that.
Yeah, comedians in cars getting coffee, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess Dave Chappelle also got really buff.
I mean, I know of some like really buff, funny people.
That is true. I guess my point was making like if Jerry Seinfeld like came out and was like had like massive guns and he tried to do like what's the deal with like airline food, like would he be less relatable? Like what if John Mulaney got buff? Like I don't know.
Packs on like 50 pounds of pure muscle.
I want buff Bill Burr. Are you kidding me? Buff Bill Burr would be so funny. Same with buff Mark Maron.
Just call him Bill Buff Burr.
Bill Buff Burr.
Oh man, Mark Maron just loaded to the fucking gills with roids, just like fucking thrashing around. Oh my gosh.
All right, this is our plea. All comedians get buff, please.
Just get fucking jacked.
Just get jacked.
Next time I see you on stage, I don't want to see you wearing a shirt.
A season, sorry, but buff.
Huge and like oily. Comes out, just like rips off like, his shirt. I am here.
I want all comedians to now just be like a Mr. Universe competition. No shirt, just
6 comedians on stage at a time. You get one joke, no shirts.
We're revolutionizing the entertainment industry here on Ruining Movies, everyone.
Put it on the Vegas stage right now.
All right, well, let's talk about the last thing. I thought this last news article was a little last thing before we talk about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This little tad bit was really funny, and I just love it. South Park creators, so that's Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Also, I'd like to see both of them buff. Are looking to buy Casa Bonita.
Bonita.
Yeah, I was really hoping you knew. Casa Bonita, one of my favorite episodes of South Park ever. I didn't even know it was a real place. But for anyone unfamiliar with that show, I mean, not the show, but the episode. If you've never heard of South Park or Casa Bonita, it is this like Mexican restaurant. That it pops up in South Park. Kyle's parents are taking him and 3 of his friends to Casa Bonita, Colorado's version of Mexican Disneyland. When Kyle chooses to invite Butters over him, Cartman arranges to have Butters go missing. It is a really funny episode.
So
but
it's also in the game.
Yes, it is.
You can just explore Casa Bonita and do a bunch of stuff. It's awesome.
Yes. So anyway, it's like this like theme restaurant where there's like people who like jump off and dive into water. You can get sofitas, I think, those like sugar trees. Yes.
It's Chuck E. Cheese, but it's Spanish themed.
Yeah, and I guess like the food's awful and stuff. My favorite tad bit is every time that episode premieres, and it's also in Denver, which is where South Park is set, and also I think that's where Trey and Matt are from. Every time that episode premieres locally, Casa Bonita like gets like an hour wait to go there. But anyway, that's kind of like how everyone knows Casa Bonita is from South Park. I feel like if you're not from Denver, so it is really cool and really fun to see that Matt and Trey are trying to buy it because it went bankrupt.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah, I just thought
businesses.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really funny tad bit. I really appreciated it, and I would love to see a Trey Parker and Matt Stone themed restaurant. Yeah, I love that show. I also love South Park. A big part of me growing up was watching South Park.
I would have never grown up without South Park.
I would have never grown up. Yeah, obviously, duh. God, I remember like having to like sneak watching South Park because obviously my parents did not want me watching it. Like there was a point like they didn't even want me watching The Simpsons. So like South Park Simpsons. I remember like
I used to sneak South Park and like King of the Hill.
And Family Guy.
Yep. Which is something that's actually going to come up in our next segment.
Yes.
Don't sound so surprised.
Thank you for that subscription, Muddy Python. I appreciate it. Welcome in.
Speaking of our next segment.
Yeah, sorry. I was talking to chat. Yeah, let's talk about the next segment. Wait, how's this going to be Family Guy? We're talking about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me.
All right. All right. Well, everyone, for who's new to ruining movies, this is the part of the podcast where it's an hour and 30 minutes in, and we talk about the movie finally. This week, we are talking about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the 1989 comedy directed by Stephen Herrick, starring Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and George Carlin.
Comedy classic.
Comedy classic. Truly a classic. A movie that has my heart. How does this relate to Family Guy?
Oh, well, we didn't have to just jump right in like that.
No, I need to know now. I was
just going to say, I think there's some pretty clear inspiration on certain like parts of the Family Guy soundtrack that you could argue have been pulled from the orchestra parts from Bill and Ted. Like, because I swear there was at least 2 parts in this movie where I heard like a do-do-do-do-do-do. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. I'll give that to you, actually.
Saying it out there.
Yeah.
I don't just say. Sometimes I say crazy shit, but not always.
But we usually we back it up. So anyway, for anyone who has never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, highly recommend it. It follows. I'm just gonna read the synopsis on IMDb right now. They're a little log line. 2 seemingly dumb teens set off on a quest to prepare the ultimate historical presentation with the help of a time machine. It is.
Stoner Bros travel through space-time
with George Carlin.
Man, I gotta say,
yeah,
seeing George Carlin and hearing him talk, it was like seeing my grandpa again or something.
Right? It was
so awesome and weird and kind of like shaking. That man is such a fucking legend and such
George Carlin rules.
A huge impact on like my younger years and comedic influence and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. One of the best comedians of all time.
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
No, there's actually there's a fun fact I actually want to find real quick about George Carlin being cast in Bill and Ted's. So in April 2013, Alex Winter, who plays Bill, called casting George Carlin a very happy accident. They were going after very serious people first, like Sir Sean Connery. So think of Sean Connery as Rufus. And someone had the idea way after we started shooting of George. The whole movie was a happy accident. No one thought it would ever see the light of day, which is kind of like the general thing, like between a lot of trivia with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's like people are like, this movie is kind of way out there, which it really is. We're never going to get it made. Like Keanu and Alex Winter kind of weren't even like that big of stars at that point. Like what was Keanu even in? Like we all think Keanu now is like the superstar he is. And I know Alex Winters isn't like big of an actor as Keanu, but he's like a big director of music videos and stuff. But let's see. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out in 1989. Before that, Keanu was in things called like The Prince of Pennsylvania, River's Edge, Young Blood. Nothing big, nothing. Well, like a bunch of. He was in a bunch of things, but like Teenage Dream, The Magical World of Disney, Act of Vengeance, Under the Influence, Babes in Toyland. What the hell is that?
18-year-old Keanu.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes. He was an MTV presenter on MTV. permanent record. And then we get to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989. And then he gets Point Blank 2 years later.
Man. Then straight to John Wick.
Yeah, we skip the Matrix straight to John Wick. But this movie is great. So like this log line, it says it's two dumb teens. We have Bill and Ted. It is almost summertime. They're in San Dimas, California. They are failing history. It's like they really just play up how dumb they are, and it's so good. Some of these quotes, like when they're asked like who I think it's like George Washington is, and he says like
wood teeth.
Exactly. And so they're failing. Ted's father is going to send him to military school if they fail history, which your teacher tells them they have to get an A+ on their report. And they try to study, but they keep getting distracted, which they get distracted by one of my favorite gags in the entire trilogy is that Bill's dad is dating someone who they asked to prom.
They went to high school with her. That's
yeah,
so weird.
It really is,
dude.
Which isn't funny. Have you ever seen Bogus Journey, the second one?
No.
So Ted's dad is married to her in that one. And then in Bill and Ted Face the Music, Deacon, Ted's younger brother who watches Napoleon in this show, it starts off with him getting married to her. Which is
so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, this line is, remember when she was a senior and we were freshmen? And shut up, Ted! They get distracted, so they head to Circle K. And that's where we're introduced to Rufus, played by George Carlin. It's like I said, this story is out there. That's why I love it so much. Little did Bill and Ted know is so there's also this plot where they're trying to create a band called the Wild Stallions, which is funny. It's like they're trying to get Van Halen to join, but they haven't they don't even know how to play their instruments or anything. It really is great. They find out that Bill and Ted find out that in the future their music unites all of mankind. So they get help from Rufus, going back in time with a telephone booth to go get famous people throughout history to go to their history report and help them. So we get some fun scenes of them going back to the Napoleonic era, accidentally capturing Napoleon, which is probably one of my favorite people in the film. They go get Billy the Kid. They go get Socrates or Socrates, which that is also one of the funniest fucking jokes where they're
Socrates.
Yeah, they say Socrates' name right, and then they open the book and read it, and they're like, "Oh, Socrates," and then they call him Socrates. Yeah, the entire time.
That Socrates and Billy end up like becoming bros by the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yes.
They're like the dynamic duo of this like whole group of historic people. They're like always together. Billy's always helping them out. Like they approach the girls together.
Yes. In the mall scene is like my favorite. It's my favorite scene of this movie. They also get Freud, Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc, Abraham Lincoln, Beethoven.
They could have gotten Eddie Van Halen. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, that's the best part about Bill and Ted is they don't think. Like that's the best thing is like this is my case for Bill and Ted, the Bill and Ted trilogy. Bill and Ted are not smart. They are actively airheads, but they care so much about the things that matter to them.
Yep.
Like, they might be dumb, but I could understand why the music written by these two guys who just want to make music and just want to be excellent to each other makes music that unites the world. It's because they're genuinely good people. Just because they're not book smarts or not even street smarts most of the time, they're still just doing their thing.
A futuristic time machine antenna with gum.
That is true. With gum.
Honestly, I saw that and I was like, in my mind, that's pretty smart.
That is pretty smart. It's also a really funny scene of all the historic people chewing gum to make that. But anyway, they get all the people. During this, there's a whole like side thing where Ted's younger brother has to take care of Napoleon because Napoleon was already in the future because he didn't actually get picked up by Bill and Ted. He fell through the portal. And he becomes a little piggy because he eats all the ice cream. Which is a really funny.
He's like, you ditched Napoleon. And Deacon's like, he was a dick.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I saw this movie again. We're running into these like funny instances where it's like we're watching these older flicks.
Yeah.
And I'm going into it being like, like 2001: The Space Odyssey. I was like, this is rated G, okay. And then I immediately watched a murder occur, and I'm like watching this, and it's rated PG. And he's like, "You killed Ted, you dickweed!"
Yeah, I was gonna say, when he thinks that Ted got killed by a knight, he calls him a dickweed, which is so funny. So anyway, they get everyone back. Ted's gonna be sent to military school, and they do the presentation, which is actually like a really heartfelt presentation. It always makes me feel something. Yeah.
And again, like, back to, like, the influence thing, how, like, it's clear. So, I was going to say in the beginning of all this, it's clear to me that this movie has influenced a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely.
And you ever seen the high school reunion part of It's Always Sunny?
Yeah.
So that, like, performance that they do in the end of that, where it's, like, super hype. When I watched that thing by Bill and Ted, I just kept thinking about that, and I was like, I know that there are other like 80s flicks that have tried to like capture the same feeling of like, a student getting like all this gratification from their classmates as they do an amazing presentation or whatever. But I just couldn't stop thinking about how like if It's Always Sunny pulled some inspiration from anything, it'd probably be this sweet ass presentation.
I really think Bill and Ted like did influence a lot, because if you think about it, this is 1989. The 80s were full of like teen high school comedies. We have Ferris Bueller, we have The Breakfast Club, we have all of like John Cusack's. Yeah, all these
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, all these things. Yeah, I did. That was the first thing I said. All these adventure films, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is like pulling from all of those, but like also making it as ridiculous as possible.
And their own thing all at the same time.
Yeah, there's not really another like this like. Okay, so one of my favorite thing about Bill and Ted's is like we've been doing the last two or three movies have dealt with time travel in one way or another. My favorite thing about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is they don't even try to describe what time travel is. They meet their past selves.
Yeah, they don't try to explain it. They don't try to like deal with rules. Fuck the rules. Like we're here to have a conversation with the other Bill and Ted.
They literally talk to the other Bill and Ted. That's just them from previously. Which is also like really funny.
The way they solve their problems, he's like, just remember a key.
Yeah. Okay. So in the second one, Bogus Journey, so we get that thing where like Bill and Ted just say something, be like, and then we put the key there, and then, like the key's there. The whole climax of Bogus Journey is them fighting an evil guy from the future trying to stop them from happening. I'm stopping for wild stallions. And the fight is just the bad guy and them just being like, and I put a ray gun behind this rock. And then Bill will be like, and then I suck gum in the gun. And like, it's just like, that's the whole fight. And it's so funny.
That's awesome. I can't wait to watch that.
It really, it's good. They go to heaven and hell in Bogus Journey, and they meet Death, which is my favorite character.
They meet Death. That's like one of the most. I don't know about the most, but like he's the most.
Oh,
the character
he absolutely is
the most from Bill and Ted. And just so we know, to context here, this is my. Okay, so my first time in conscious memory, I have a bunch of cousins that like every time I see them, they're like, "Oh man, you remember when we used to watch Bill and Ted all the time?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, I was like probably like 3."
You're right.
So not really, but like, so I think I probably watched the first two a shitload of times when I was a kid. But like, I don't remember it. But like throughout my conscious memory, Death from the second movie comes up like
he's so good. Death is like one of the best
comes up
characters.
A lot in like popular culture and things like that, I think.
Which honestly, if anyone wants to see anything about Bogus Journey, just watch Bill and Ted fight Death, because they do the whole trope where like if you beat Death, you get to live, and they play Twister and Connect Four and Clue and stuff with that. That is really funny. So yeah, this movie truly is great. It's an hour and a half, which is always a plus. I like movies when they're shorter, especially comedic.
Yeah.
And I just want to go through some of the quotes, because I think the big part of what Bill and Ted are the quotes, and how they talk.
I was just reading through them.
Yeah, before I get into the quotes, though, I do want to read this part of trivia. Alex Winter claims that he gets 2 types of letters from teachers. Positive ones from history teachers for encouraging students to learn about history, and negative ones from English teachers for affecting the way students speak. Which it is hilarious, because I was saying bodacious and bogus like a good couple days after I watched this, because they're so fun to say.
Bodacious, dude.
Yeah.
It is great.
So I'm gonna start with my favorite quote, which is Ted saying, "Strange things are afoot at the Circle K." It's so funny, but it's so good.
Yep.
This quote is also good. When they're in the medieval era trying to rescue the princesses, put them in the Iron Maiden, and Ted says Iron Maiden, and Bill and Ted do excellent. And then the evil Duke says execute them, and then Bill and Ted bogus.
I like the conversation between, where is it? I saw it on here. Oh yes, between the police psychiatrist and Sigmund Freud.
Yes.
I want to know why you claim to be Sigmund Freud. Why do you claim I am not? Why do you keep asking me these questions? Tell me about your mother. I actually laughed out loud a lot. I think that might have been I don't know about my favorite scene, but it was just the police station scene when the police officers just getting so fucking frustrated with the fact that all these people are just I'm Abraham Lincoln, I'm Sigmund Freud, and he's just why do you keep telling me?
Right, the whole mall into the police scene is one of the greatest scenes from the movie. I love all of the famous historical people in the mall just doing mall stuff. Genghis Khan in the sports store just destroying it. Beethoven just rocking out with the craziest synth solo ever.
Yep. That he was the last one to get escorted out too. I was like, all right, yeah, makes sense. Now that everyone else that's dressed like a historical jerk has been removed, now you look for the loudest one.
Yeah.
I also love the part when they take Beethoven away and he just everyone in the room is like, what the fuck is going on? And Beethoven, who, if you didn't know, is deaf, doesn't even give a shit.
Right, exactly. He's like, okay.
I was like, that was awesome. They nailed that.
This line is also good. This is after Ted was killed by a medieval soldier, quote unquote killed. Bogus, heinous, most non-triumphant. Ted, don't be dead, dude. Just so good.
That was a good ride, man. I appreciate it, and I should tell you, I told you that I wasn't feeling particularly great the other day. This was a perfect way.
It really is
to spend that time.
Good. I'm glad. This is.
I was about to message you after I watched it too.
Yeah, it's a good feel-good movie. It's that's the perfect feel-good movie. There's really not any negative thing about it. It's just 2 dudes just doing good at their one thing, that falling into success just over and over again. And they never really get down on themselves. They do sometimes, but there's never any dramatic scenes where they're like, oh, we'll never do it. Well, there is, but they're just it's so happy and just be like, no, we'll do it. We got this. It's just so great. Keanu Reeves is so funny in it too. I love all his hand movements and his face is just
the way he just turns his head and looks all fucking confused all the time.
Yeah, I've never seen someone play someone confused as well as Keanu Reeves in this movie. And Alex Winter playing Bill is so good too. Bill just being this confident dumb guy. He's so confident in everything he does, and they're so wrong, and it's so good.
I also love that by the end of the movie, prior to the presentation, at least Billy, but according to these quotes, I guess Genghis Khan as well are using Bill and Ted terminology. I heard Billy be bogus at one point.
Yes. Oh god, I just stumbled in the taglines. So these are the taglines that were on some of the posters. History is about to be rewritten by 2 guys who can't spell. Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. Not original, but yeah. Party on, dudes. Absolutely. Praise yourself, amigos, for the most triumphant of videos. So good. The funniest comedy in the history of history. It's so good. Yeah. All right. Well, this is the part of the podcast, everyone, where we ruin the movie with you, wonderful audience's help, by rewriting it in a different genre and making a remake, prequel, or sequel. So let's see what's going on there, and also the soundtrack. While I'm pulling up these polls, the soundtrack for this movie is great. I love the 80s music in it. All right.
There's a Matrix 4?
Yeah, it's coming out, I think, next year.
Why?
do you have Keanu's...
I did, yes.
All right. So no one voted.
Oh, good.
But these are the best ones. So, Shane, if you could roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 10-sided die for me, please.
Yeah, please stand by. I had no plan for this, so I'll be right back.
It's fine. Yeah, just do it. This is why we both, the dice, everyone, always have dice. I say this as my dice are not close to me either. Actually, I'm staring at a 10-sided dice, but it's very far away from me. I'm very lazy.
Mine are only like 4 steps away.
Mine's also 4 steps away. I'm just not getting up. Get him. What else is Keanu gonna be in? John Wick Chapter 4 and 5.
God, he's about to have a big year.
He's gonna be in the DC League of Super Pets? What?
What is that?
I don't know. Dwayne Johnson's playing Crypto, and Kevin Hart's playing Ace. Who's Keanu Reeves playing? The horse?
So you said a 10, right? D10?
Yes, please.
7.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have to remake Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as a soap opera.
Oh! Why did we put this one on the list?
I see. I always put I put random stuff on the list all the time just to see if people will pick it. I never thought people would pick soap opera, but here we are because the dice picked it. So soap opera. So we're not remaking it as a movie. We're remaking it as a syndicated television show. Probably premiering around 12 p.m. Noon. So when you are eating lunch, or this is your mother's favorite show or your grandparents' favorite show. We have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the soap opera. Before we start, do we want this to be a modern day soap opera, or do we want it to be a soap opera from the 90s? Or
90s, 100%.
90s, okay, that's good.
Mainly because I know 90s ones.
Same.
I don't know them, but like I know what they look like.
I'm more familiar with them. They were always on when I was growing up. And Bill and Ted actually... reference the one that I watched when I was a kid, which is Days of Our Lives.
Same.
Which, like Days of Our Lives. The whole silk right. To all the honors, dust in the wind.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. They whenever they have to use music, what was it when they're trying to get the princess's like attention, and Bill's like, dude, just lyrics. Ted, yeah, so good.
Oh man.
Oh my God, there's been 4,400 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Jeez.
Well, that's not even true. Okay, there's more than that because one person has been on that many episodes. God, 4,902 episodes is like how long one person's been on it.
Wow.
That's nuts.
What a show.
All right, soap opera. So Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is a soap opera. It's set in the 90s. I guess we could pull Alex Winters and Keanu Reeves yet, because I think Keanu, let's say in this alternative timeline, because we are doing a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, a time travel movie, Keanu Reeves never did Point Break for some reason. Instead, he did the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure soap opera. What's the story here? What's the super dramatic story that we start with the soap opera? Obviously, we're not writing the entire soap opera, but probably the first story arc.
Bill's dad and
Yeah.
mom just got a divorce a few months ago.
So,
and now
yeah,
Bill's
Missy,
dad
yeah.
is dating again.
Oh, yes! Yes, okay, so we're gonna cover the parts between Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey, where Bill's dad gets a divorce and Ted's dad starts dating Missy. Okay. And I feel like we have to fill in. Maybe this is the summer after. Bill and Ted take back all the historical figures.
Wait, it's a remake, though.
Oh, it's a remake. You're right. So the soap opera would
like we would start like in the winter before the summer of all this happening,
right?
And it'd be very dramatic because Bill's dad is now starting.
I see. Okay.
Missy.
Yes. Okay. I see.
Bill and Ted are just trying to like do school shit, trying to like get through the school year,
start the Wild Stallions,
so they can meet Rufus.
the soap opera doesn't include any time travel.
True.
It just is them
Rufus
go to school.
Just like the music teacher.
Rufus just keeps being different characters and just keeps going back to watch Bill and Ted.
A bunch of it's like like Michael in A Good Place, just like shows up and does different random shit to like influence things.
Yes. Oh, we could also
get touched by an angel.
Yes, it is. Oh my god! And what we could have is time assassins keep coming back to stop Bill and Ted. That's the super dramatic soap opera part where there has to be deaths and murders. And Rufus, the TVA, exactly, the TVA. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is the first TVA. Rufus has to stop Bill and Ted, who are just trying to go throughout school and start with the Wild Stallions, from all these time bandits from killing them. And Bill and Ted's teachers around Bill and Ted keep dying. People they're close to somehow die. It's really dramatic. I really hope Bill and Ted just don't are acted the same by Keanu and Bill, like everyone else is. Being Alex, they're just everyone else is acting super dramatic, and then just Bill and Ted are still just like bodacious, dude.
Like our first episode would end like looking through a sniper scope at Bill.
Yes.
Right, and then like the next episode would open with Rufus just like clubbing that sniper on the back of the head.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. And then it just keeps going. And then like, because it's a soap opera, it's going to run forever. Eventually we get to the Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure storyline. But each time they go and get a historical figure, it's not like 10 minutes. It's like a 4-episode arc. Like Billy the Kid is like in a lot more dramatic trouble. Maybe he's about to be hung. They have to save him. Napoleon, they get taken hostage by Napoleon's army.
Oh yeah, it's got to be like 4 to 6 episodes per historic figure.
Exactly. Socrates is supposed to give a philosophy lecture, but he gets too drunk and passes out. Now Bill and Ted in ancient Greece have to give the philosophy lecture. Wait, I want this. I know there was a Bill and Ted TV show.
Really?
I think it was animated.
Ah.
Oh no, I guess not. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. That looks like off-brand Keanu Reeves, though. I don't think it's played by the... Let's see. The time-traveling misadventures of 2 seemingly dumb teen metalheads destined to save the world with their music. It has none of the original cast.
Ah, I see.
It's just off-brand. Oh, wait, no, the princesses are the same. That's weird.
Huh.
And Dietrich Bader is in it.
Interesting. I don't think I know who that is.
The Drew Carey Show, Office Space.
Okay.
Like the stoner guy from Office Space.
Yeah.
Who asked what would you do if you had $1 million question? Okay. Well, I think that's it. Obviously, it's still running today from 1990 to 2021. Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, unfortunately, their careers never take off. They're still on the show. John Wick never happens in this universe. The Matrix also never happens in this universe.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. That's the soap opera. Bill and Ted's most dramatic adventure. It's the name of the show. Boom. Soap opera. Movie ruined.
Dramatic Adventures of Bill and Ted.
Yes. And like I feel like it has like the Days of Our Lives like opening soundtrack like doo, 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 like just like yeah.
Is that the song you were trying to guess earlier?
No, I still don't know what I'm trying to guess. Watch it be like some obscure game show that I've been watching. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the podcast, everyone. Shayne, what are we watching for next week?
So I decided to break away from time travel a little bit.
Okay.
But
we have been doing a lot of them.
Since you kicked the door in on the old 80s buddy comedies.
Hell yeah.
I thought I would stick to it and hit up a good old Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder favorite of mine. See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Okay. Hell yeah.
It doesn't have like... I was very hesitant to pick this because it seems to have like not the greatest like ratings and stuff, but I watched this when I was a kid and I thought it was fucking funny. And I think that as an adult, I will think it's fucking funny. It's rated R. It's like just over an hour and a half long, and it's two of the funniest people to like ever live.
I mean, yeah, honestly, Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder, same level as George Carlin, absolutely.
Did you read the synopsis?
I'll
read it to you. Dave is deaf and Wally is blind. They witnessed a murder, but it was Dave who was looking at her and Wally who was listening.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this film. It sounds so dumb. Hell yeah. I don't. Who's the? All right. So I've never even heard of this movie. All right. Next week we are going to be watching See No Evil, Hear No Evil. The Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder buddy cop. They're not cops, right?
No, they're just two dudes.
Hell yeah, I'm excited. And that's it, everyone. That is Ruining Movies. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's do some plugs and then let's get out of here.
You bet. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm Shayne. You can catch me at twitch.tv/bringtheshayne.
Boom, boom.
That's about it, though.
All right, and my name is Zach. I actually announced who we were in the beginning of the show this time, so you're welcome. You can find me at twitch.tv/farmgoat. Shayne and I do Dummies Play on Monday, where we play co-op games, and then on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, we do Ruining Movies, so there's that. Go to my YouTube, FarmGoat Plays. I've been posting a bunch of videos and content there. Go check that out. I think you might find something you will enjoy. I've been playing indie games. It's like Death's Door and I guess Splitgate, which Splitgate isn't really an indie game, but that game has been super addicting. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys like this. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also find all these episodes on Spotify and other places you can find podcasts other than Apple Music. But who uses Apple Music?
Really.
Yeah, and that's it. So, as Bill and Ted would say, everyone, be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.
I was really hoping you got that. All right, bye, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.